Right now there's a bill to determine what type of weather NOAA studies is raising some eyebrows on Capitol Hill.
Meteorologist Mike Bettes is tracking this story, and he has the details on the bill and what's behind it. Mike.
All right, Stephanie, Al, thank you. Well, the bill about weather continues to move through the U.S. House. It aims to redirect money from climate change research to improving technology for weather forecasting. As you can imagine, it has a lot of people talking. Meet Congressman Jim Bridenstine.
I'm from the state of Oklahoma.
A state rocked by 2 EF5 tornadoes this year alone. More than 24 people lost their lives. Jim Bridenstine wants to change that and says the key is earlier storm detection. And that's why he and a few of his congressional colleagues wrote the Weather Forecasting Improvement Act.
The goal of this legislation that I'm proposing is to save lives.
His plan is to refocus NOAA and the National Weather Service to weather forecasting and storm prediction, and that includes hundreds of millions of federal dollars. Much of that money would be moved from climate research to forecasting.
Nobody here is completely eliminating global climate change. In fact, it will still get a whole lot more money than weather forecasting and warning. But what we want to do is we just want to reprioritize. Given the technology we have today, we can save lives by forecasting, doing warn-on forecast for tornadoes.
But many argue that you can't pull back on climate research to focus on forecasting because the two are so connected. As for NOAA, Acting Administrator Catherine Sullivan says, follow the science.
To arbitrarily say and cast in law that those should be a certain balance or another is to ignore the fact that we still have a lot to learn, and science is our best guide towards learning those important things.
Sullivan favors an approach where scientists within NOAA are free to let their research and their discoveries chart the path.
Well, the Act has good things and bad things in it.
Dr. Cliff Mass is an atmospheric sciences professor at the University of Washington. He agrees that there is a financial imbalance tilted toward climate research, but he also says the culture within NOAA needs to change.
A big problem is that NOAA and the National Weather Service have had a not invented here attitude in which they haven't taken advantage of all the knowledge in the research community.
Mass suggests an advisory board made up of people from NOAA, the academic world, and even the private sector. However,
producing the forecasts is only half the battle. In fact, the easier part of the battle. The harder thing to do is how to communicate weather forecasts in an effective way and gets people to do the right things.
The right things, that's what everyone has in mind. It's just finding the best path to get there. Now the bill is still in committee, but a vote to get it in front of the full House is expected in just a few weeks. We'll continue to track this story for you and bring you the very latest updates.